Hi, I'm Jonathan, and welcome to Just Eyeball It. Today we're going to be cooking chicken. The way that I cook is a little different than most people. I don't use recipes. So first we have to start with the chicken. When you make chicken, you might want to take it out of the freezer. Don't make chicken. It's expensive. Only make chicken if you get it for free from your parents' freezer. It's not completely frozen, so perfect. Your chicken should look like this. Completely disgusting at first, but that's okay. If you do this right, it might be edible. First, you start by cutting up the chicken. If you're like me, you'll buy something ridiculously cheap. Cutting up chicken is really easy, but kind of disgusting. Don't worry about that. If you get salmonella, you'll probably die. I'm not one to eat really unhealthy. While you're cutting up the chicken, make sure to turn on the deep fryer because it takes a really long time for the oil to heat up. When you're inviting guests, make sure to have something horrible for you, combined with something good, like broccoli. I'm having company over. The number one thing about cooking is you have to remember that there is no wrong way to do it. If you have no idea how to cut chicken properly, make sure to keep what's left of it and use it for soups. Or you can flavor tofu. Make sure to put it away in the fridge, otherwise you might kill somebody. Or you can make rice with it. The most important thing to have in your kitchen is spices. If your food tastes like shit, just put some of that on it and it'll make everything better. Or you can put it pretty much anywhere. Whenever possible, try stealing food from a relative. It usually tastes better because it's free. For what we're cooking today, we're going to need paprika, rosemary, salt and pepper is for amateurs, and this green stuff that I swear isn't drugs. A very important thing to do is figure out what size pan you need. Some people use bowls to mix their spices. That wastes dishes. Just mix your spices in whatever you're going to cook the stuff in. If you have a pan that's too big, it'll just make more dishes for you. Unless you want your food charred to death, you may want to use something like olive oil. If you get a pan that's too small, it'll take much longer. Make sure to coat anything you're cooking pretty evenly. It doesn't have to be perfect. Ask your doctor about finding the best dishes to time ratio for you. It would really surprise me if it was perfect. If it was perfect, you wouldn't be watching this. You're probably not a chef. When adding spices, just put any random amount. The quantity doesn't really matter. Your pan should look something like this. Just remember, put a heck of a lot of paprika. It's pretty much useless, but you need a lot of it. Next, you put the chicken in. Your hands should look something like this. So my food was complete shit. The next step is ridiculously simple. Put your pan on the stove. I wanted to feel really self-conscious. Make sure it's on the highest setting imaginable. Basically bully myself into putting something nice up there. Anything lower and it will take way too long to warm up. People were really mad at me for putting what's called food porn on the internet. Cooking utensils are nice. Food porn is just really nice pictures of food. If you hear a sizzling sound, that's a good thing. That means your food is cooking. So I watch My Drunk Kitchen.
This is a wine that I found in my sister's kitchen, which is free.
This happened. The next step is to cut up the potatoes. You may have noticed that there's many ways to kill your guests in the kitchen. If your roommate has a cutting board, use theirs. It's probably a piece of shit, but you don't have to wash it. There's plenty of knives, hot surfaces, bacteria. Potatoes are one of the only foods in the kitchen that will never go bad. Cooking is actually for psychopaths. Instead of rotting, they start growing new potatoes. If you really want to kill someone, to prevent accidental potato pregnancy, make sure to stab them with a salmonella-coated blade. Use them all the time, every time. And make sure they don't break. I don't believe in recipes, but I do believe in cookbooks. Cookbooks, like this one, serve one purpose only. And that's to make you extremely guilty about your lack of cooking skills. So if you're wondering who this random dude is, this is my roommate. When you're done chopping up a shit ton of potatoes, put everything you're trying to cook in the basket. Try not to burn yourself. Now your potatoes are cooking, you might want to check on your chicken. Especially if you're making a video like I am. While the chicken finishes cooking, you might want to start those vegetables. The best way to cook vegetables is to steam them using one of these things. Frozen stuff works best, and if you're not a douchebag, you'll buy organic. By now, your potatoes should be almost ready. If you're an environmentalist, deep frying is not for you. Green potatoes are one of the few things in the kitchen that won't actually kill you. You'll know your chicken is done when it's not quite burnt. If you want to be extra classy, serve your sauce in a measuring cup. It's important to make your food look excessively good. The best way to do this is to add random cool-looking ingredients that you're not going to eat. And it should look something like this when you're done. If it doesn't, you've failed. Rate, comment, and subscribe, and make sure to check this out. I have no idea how to cook mushrooms. I think you're supposed to put butter, maybe some garlic, but I really don't know. So it's going to be kind of exciting, you know? Anyway.